नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वदा स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनं हृदयन्तस्थो ह्यभद्राणि विदुनोति श्रुतत्सदम् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna. Today I am going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, verses 13 and 14. Text 13. Shreyasham abhisarvesham atma hi avadir artadaham sarvesham abhibhudanam harir atmadaha priyaha. Shreyasam of auspicious activities, happy certainly, sarvesham all atma, all Atma the self, he certainly, Avadiha destination, Arthaha factually, Sarvesham of all, Abhi certainly, Bodhanam living entities, Hari the supreme personality of Godhead, Atma the super soul, Atmataha who can give us our original identity, Priyaha very dear. Translation. Factually, the supreme personality of Godhead is the original source of all self-realization. Consequently, the goal of all auspicious activities, karma, jnana, yoga, and bhakti is the supreme personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The living entity is the marginal energy of the supreme personality of Godhead, and the material world is the external energy. Under these circumstances, one must understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is factually the original source of both matter and spirit. This is explained in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 7.4 to 5. Bhumirabi nalo vayuha kammano buddhireva cha ahankara idiyam me binna prakritir astada अपारेयम् इदस्त्वन्यं प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परं जीवभूतं महाभागो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together, these eight comprise my separated material energies. But besides this inferior nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mine, which consists of all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining this universe. The entire cosmic manifestation is but a combination of matter and spirit. The spiritual part is the living entity, and these living entities are described as Prakriti or energy. The living entity is never described as Purusha, the Supreme Person. Therefore, to identify the living entity with the Supreme Lord is simply ignorance. The living entity is the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord. Although there is factually no difference between the energy and the energetic. The duty of the living entity is to understand his real identity. When he does, Krishna gives him all the facilities to come to the platform of devotional service. That is the perfection of life. This is indicated in Vedic Upanishad. Yam evashya vrunade tena labhyas tasyasya atma vivarnude tanum swayam. Lord Krishna confirms this in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Tesham sadada yuktanam bhajadam pridipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I gave the understanding by which they can come to me. The conclusion is that one must come to the platform of Bhakti Yoga, even though one may begin with Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or Ashtanga Yoga. Unless one comes to the platform of Bhakti Yoga, self realization or realization of the absolute truth cannot be achieved. Text 14. Yata tarodmula Ripyandi tatskanda pujopashadakam pranobaharaja yedendriyanam tadaiva sarvaharanam achudejya yatha as taroha of a tree, mula the root, nischanena by watering, tripyanti are satisfied, that its skanda trunk, puja branches, upashagaha and twigs, prana the life, air, upaharat by feeding, cha and yada as indriyanam of the senses, tada eva similarly, sarva of all demigods, arhana worship, achyuta of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ijya worship. Translation. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body. Simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. But sometimes people ask why this Krishna consciousness movement simply advocates worship of Krishna to the exclusion of the demigods. The answer is given in this verse. The example of pouring water on the root of a tree is very appropriate. In Bhagavad Gita 15.1 it is said, Urdhavamulam Adha Shakam. This cosmic manifestation has expanded downward, and the root is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord confirms in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Krishna is the root of everything. Therefore, rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Seva means automatically serving all the demigods. Sometimes it is argued that karma and jnana require a mixture of bhakti in order to be successfully executed. And sometimes it is argued that bhakti also requires karma and jnana for its successful termination. The fact is, however, that although karma and jnana cannot be successful without bhakti, bhakti does not require the help of karma and jnana. Actually, as described by Srila Rupa Goswami, Anyabhilashida Shunyam Jnana Karmadhyanavridam, pure devotional service should not be contaminated by the touch of karma and jnana. Modern society is involved in various types of philanthropic works, humanitarian works, and so on. But people do not know that these activities will never be successful unless Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is brought into the center. One may ask what harm there is in worshipping Krishna and the different parts of his body, the demigods. And the answer is also given in this verse. The point is that by supplying food to the stomach, the indriyas, the senses, are automatically satisfied. If one tries to feed his eyes or ears independently, the result is only havoc. Simply by supplying food to the stomach, we satisfy all of the senses. It is neither necessary nor feasible to render separate services to the individual senses. The conclusion is that by serving Krishna, Krishna Seva, everything is complete. As confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.62, Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Kama Kritahaya. If one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is automatically accomplished. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapeshaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidhinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Durvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled devotees. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings or adding my own interpretation while presenting this class. In order to prepare this class, I got points from Burijan Prabhu's book and listened to a video from Madhavi Gaurangi Mataji. So Narada Muni's instructions to Prajetas continue in these two slokas, 13 and 14. While preparing for this class, I learned some interesting facts about Srimad Bhagavatam, which you may all know, but I just want to share. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literature. Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as the Grantha Avatar of Lord Sri Krishna and is compared with the different limbs of the Lord in Padma Purana. First two cantos are Lord's lotus feet, third and fourth Krishna's thighs, fifth the navel, sixth the chest, seven and eight arms, ninth throat, 10th face, 11th is forehead, 12 is the head. Now we are reading fourth canto, so our meditation should be on the thighs of Lord Shri Krishna. So Srimad Bhagavatam discusses mainly 10 topics, which are Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshana, Uti, Manvantara, Ishanukada, Nirodha, Mukti, Ashraya. All these topics are there in all the 12 kandos. The main topic is Ashraya, or the supreme shelter to Lord Sri Krishna. All the other 9 topics depends on the 10th topic's Ashraya. At the end of each kando, it talks about Ashraya, or the supreme shelter to Lord Krishna. The first sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is Janmadeshyado Anvyad Idaras Chatesva Abhijnana Sura Tene Brahmahrdaya Kave Muhyandyat Surya. The first sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam says, Lord Sri Krishna is the absolute truth and everything emanates from him. In the first canto, Narad Muni is the one who initiated the process of Bhagavatam. It is his desire to write exclusive literature on Lord Sri Krishna, his bhakta and activities. Nandamuni is considered as the spiritual master of many Vaishnava devotees. Kanda 4 talks mostly about Sarga and Visarga, primary creation and the secondary creation. And at the end of this chapter talks about Ashraya. In this chapter, end of Kanda 4, Narada Muni is instructing Prajetas. Narada Muni is present in almost all the cantos. Narada Muni's instruction is always on devotional service, whether he is giving instruction to Prajeta, Prajina Barhi, using the analogy of Puranjana, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Yudhishthira. The instruction is always on bhakti. Prajetas did years of austerities, heard Rudra Gita from Lord Shiva, and got the darshan of Lord Vishnu. They received instruction from both Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. Then the Prajetas got married with Marisha to fulfill their father's order to create progeny. Through Marisha, Prajetas got the son Daksha. Then Prajetas lived at home and enjoyed material life for thousands of years, and they forgot the instructions of the Lord because of family attachment. Finally, they remembered the Lord and thought that this is a time to leave home. They left wife Marisha in the care of their son Daksha. After they perfected their spiritual knowledge, then Narada Muni appeared. Sloka 13 and 14 continues with Narada's instructions. In Sloka 13, Srila Prabhupada insists that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original source of all self-realization. The living entity is the marginal energy of the Lord, and the material world is the external energy of the Lord. The living entity is described as Prakriti or energy, and the Supreme Lord is the Purusha. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, talks in detail about this Prakriti and Purusha. Even though there is no difference between the energy and the energetic, the living entity is the marginal potency. Thus, the living entity cannot compare with the Supreme Lord, like the sun and sunshine analogy. The success in following karma and jnana is good only if it increases bhakti. Karma can lead to bhakti, and jnana can lead to bhakti. If bhakti is not improving, there is no use of for karma and jnana. Bhagavad Gita first four chapters talks about how karma, the yoga ladder, can lead to bhakti, and the last four chapters talk about how jnana can lead to bhakti. One may begin the process, bhakti process, with karma yoga, jnana yoga, or ashtanga yoga. Unless one comes to the platform of bhakti yoga, self realization cannot achieved. The topmost level of spiritual understanding is bhakti yoga, or devotional service to the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartade idimatva bhajande mam bodhabhava samanvidaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Narada again emphasized that the devotional service is the goal of all spiritual practices. Narada wants to redirect the Prajetas to the highest goal, which is pleasing the Supreme Lord by performing devotional service. Narada Muni states that many living entities are born into this material world, but the only perfection of any birth is to achieve the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All other achievements are useless. In text 14, Narada Muni continues, devotional service offered to Krishna automatically satisfies the demigods, so one need not worship them separately. There are two analogies given here is watering the root of the tree nourishes the whole tree. You don't have to water the branches and the leaves separately. Same way, supplying food to the stomach nourishes the whole body. The point is that by supplying food to the stomach, the indriyas, the senses are automatically satisfied. By serving Krishna, everything is complete. As confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 22.62. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kridahaya. If one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, everything is automatically accomplished. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.23, Ye api anyat devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvidaha te api mameva kaunteya yajanti avidyapurvakam. Meaning, those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kundi, but they do so in a wrong way. In the purport of verse 14, Srila Prabhupada explains that devotional service is the essence of good works. Modern society is involved in various types of philanthropic works, humanitarian works, and so on. But people do not know that these activities will never be successful unless Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is brought into the center. Here, the essence of these two slokas very practical in our day-to-day life. We are listening or reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhu's Leelamrita, reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, hearing instructions from Guru Maharaj, listening to the class on Sunday feast. But the thing is, as soon as we close the book and going to the family life again, we are entangled. I have to do this, I have to do that. So many distractions or hindrance to perform bhakti. The solution is to keep Krishna in our subconscious mind, keep Krishna in the center of whatever we do, like cooking, cleaning the house, taking bath, working, shopping, anything we do, remember Krishna. Prabhupada often explained that thinking of me doesn't mean sitting in a cave and doing nothing, but tailing all our activities in the service of Krishna. A materialistic person may do the same activities, but the consciousness should be different in the devotees. Um, that's my realization. I would like to end here. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo